I didn't feel overwhelmed at any point in time, to be honest. So it took us about a year and a half to just write the film. Shoot it in 4 months and finish it and be ready for it. No, I don't think we ever approached an actor that we said we wanted and didn't get. I think that everything can go wrong and nothing can go wrong, and that's just how things are. Of course there's going to be a comparison. At one point there were times when actors said enough. We now look forward and say, "Choti bachchi hai kya?" You had to have that line at that point.
Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Anita Britto in conversation with the Housefull director, Housefull 5 director, Tarun. Hi Tarun,
Hi,
how are you
Anita.
doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good. How are you feeling right now?
Now that you've specified that it is a week away, yeah, it feels great right now, but I don't think everything has sunk in yet because we're still finalizing and finishing everything in the film, doing deliveries, there's marketing going on, there's so much going on right now that I haven't had a moment to sit down with myself and just feel everything. So right now I'm just on autopilot and moving through.
But you must be very happy because the response to the film, to all the songs that has released so far, has been amazing. Were you anticipating this kind of a response for the film?
Well, I don't think you can ever anticipate the kind of response, but you always hope for it and you think that it's always going to be outstanding, right? Whenever you're making a film, you always think that, of course, it's going to be great, right? And then right now it is great, so I'm just going by, okay, yeah, everything's going well, let's just keep going.
That's amazing because there's amazing response. There's a lot of positive response. So we are looking forward to this film on 6th of June. And fingers crossed that it should break all the
6th of June
records.
at a theatre close to you, there'll be 2 climaxes. So watch both.
Let's talk about that. This is something new that we are going to see.
Yes.
Never been attempted, never even thought by any filmmakers, I think, so far.
I honestly don't know whether it's happened, not happened worldwide. I'm sure somebody must have thought of something similar or had various kind of versions online or however it works. But at least Sajid sir has had this idea about 30 years ago. Right, from 30 years ago, he kept telling himself that I'll make a murder mystery one day and I'll make a thriller one day and I'll do this kind of climax where you go into one screen and it is this version playing and you go to the other screen and the other version is playing. So even when people come out and be like, X first person was the killer, they'll be like, wait, what are you talking about? This person was the killer.
Yeah.
And so they can continue having a conversation and it feels a little more interactive, it feels a little more personal. Then when finally, 30 years later, Housefull 5 started to happen, it was his moment and he realized that I'm going to do this come what may, and of course with it comes all the challenges of how do you shoot it, how do you release it, how do you let audiences know about it and all of those things, but none of it has deterred him at any point in time and we've gone ahead and made the film with 2 climaxes.
But was it challenging for you as a director to do
Of course it is, because when you're shooting the film then you have to be aware now you're shooting 2 films at the same time and therefore at that moment you don't want to overlap stories because everything happens a lot of times in a hurry and you're just like, okay, let's get this done and next thing you know you're shooting this version with that version story and you're like, okay, stop, come back, we need to shoot this one as this one. So it always does bring its complications because it's new to all of us.
Of course.
And it's turned out well, we're all happy. So.
How did the actors react to this idea?
Well, actually they didn't react to it because we didn't tell them for a very long time. I didn't tell them at all who the killer is through the narration or through viewings. I always took them to a particular point and I said from here on you don't know anything, and I was very insistent on that because through the film I didn't want any of them to, it's subconsciously also in your mind go, oh, this actor is the killer or this actress is the killer, therefore subconsciously I've turned to them to do that. I didn't want any of that to happen. I didn't want the actor to even behave like, oh shit, this is what I should be thinking and this is what I should not be thinking. It was just, this is the situation you are in as a character in the film. Play it out, finished. Don't think of the future. So for that reason, nobody actually knew about the 2 climaxes. Nobody knew about. And even the climax of the one film that they thought they were working on, they didn't know the climax.
Wow. But Akshay seems to be very involved in scripts or in the entire, even he didn't hesitate.
Zero idea of anything what was going on. I think in my first few meetings, I think he kind of understood that, okay, he knows what he's doing and he kind of just let me be, and he was been a great support. every time I would be in a space where I might not know Housefull the best, he would always be there standing behind me like, this is Housefull, this is not, now you decide. And therefore you can, because this Housefull is not my franchise, it's not my world. So for me to get into Housefull itself was the first challenge, right? So that took me in much easily because of the kind of support that I had standing around me constantly, being able to tell me which is Housefull, which is not, now you decide.
Right.
So leaving me on that road to say, okay, how Housefull should I go and how different should I be, was given to me, but always the road was shown to me. So that was a great support.
That's a collaborative.
That's how films are made. You can't make it alone. So.
Absolutely. So this is your first time directing the Housefull franchise.
Yes.
Was it overwhelming for you to lead such a big, ensemble actors?
Not at all. I didn't feel overwhelmed at any point in time, to be honest. One has been part of several films in which there have been big casts and all of that. For me, it was just another day at work, right? For me, I've met these actors before. I know all of them for a while. A lot of them I've worked with twice. So for me, when they came on set, it was just a bunch of actors who are now going to come together and make this scene. And I don't think at any point in time I was overwhelmed by the presence of this star cast, because I think I'm a bit stupid and naive at the same time, where I don't think of it too much.
Okay.
I just go with, I have 6 pages to finish today and 14 people on my set, let's just start. So you don't take time to, oh shit, I've got 14 mega stars on my set and 6 pages to finish. You just remove that word mega star and you kind of go ahead with the day.
Right. But in today's time, when it's very difficult to get even one actor or 2 actors, to star in a film, you have got so many. I want to first ask, who was the most difficult one to be cast in the film? And second, how long did it take to get the entire cast together?
So it took us about 1.5 years to just write the film. Right, we finished writing by about June, I think it was, of last year, and by then we pretty much already had the cast in place, in the entire cast I'm talking about. And I think bringing this cast together is a one-man job, and that is Sajid sir.
Okay.
Everyone here, I think, is here because of the love they have for him. They've known his love for cinema, they know how he likes to work. He's a great producer, he doesn't say no to you for things. He's not constantly telling you about budget. He doesn't like to mention that word. So I think everyone has worked with him before, of course, because of the Housefull franchise and in other films as well. After 75 years, I think everyone he's worked with pretty much. So,
almost,
So, because of that, it was easy only, I think, for this kind of a person to be able to bring a cast like that together. Housefull itself as a franchise has such a loyal fan base, such a mad following, that most of them were just glad to be a part of this film and Housefull and to be a part of the franchise. And few of them I've worked with before, and for me it was like coming back home to Abhishek, coming back to Jacqueline and those kind of people. And I think bringing this cast together, I don't know if any other producer will be able to do it right now, to bring this kind of a cast together this fast, shoot it in 4 months and finish it and be ready for release.
You finished this film
We
in
finished
4 months?
about 4.5 months, yeah.
Wow.
Straight.
That's the fastest I feel. That is.
I think so. I don't know what the records are, but it turned out well. Everything just went smoothly. Everyone was happy on set, and I think when that happens, things just go through.
But was there any actor that you wanted in the film and unfortunately because of other circumstances you couldn't?
No, I don't think we ever approached an actor that we said we wanted and didn't get. For us, it was always long meetings discussing who it should be, who it should be, who it should be. I think I was always aiming a little below because in my head you can't pull off this kind of a star cast, and Sajid sir's aims were always a little higher for this film. So when he would say, you know what, let's get Sanju Jackie for this, and I'd be like, yeah, right, never gonna work out, is it? And it would. And after a while, I was like, anytime he threw a name, I was like, of course, let's go, let's get the next one, let's get the next one. So he managed to do that because of his connections with people and because of his reputation out there. And I don't think there was a single person that we approached and got a no from for this film.
So you were on board with all the actors that came on board?
Completely.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And you're, I should say, you're lucky to get everyone.
I think we're very lucky.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of love that's come our way. I keep telling everyone on my film also that I think definitely somebody is watching over this film. I don't know who it is, what it is, and I'm an atheist who's saying that. So everything just went smoothly. We didn't have problems, we didn't have conflicts, we didn't have issues. I don't think there was a day in which I can turn around and say, oh shit, this was a bad day. I think my worst day was when I had bad weather in London. That was it, and my shoot got cancelled. And if that's my problem, I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed then.
But were you ever worried that, Housefull again is a big franchise, were you worried that you would go wrong somewhere with especially because it's such a big cast and anything could go wrong,
Absolutely, but then that's in any film. I think that everything can go wrong and nothing can go wrong, and that's just how things are. But if you don't think about it too much, I don't think you leave the space for any negativity to enter. So I never thought about it. Again, as I said, I might be stupid, I might be naive, I didn't think about it. So I just went about saying, this is the film we have, these are the pages we have to finish, let's just get down to it. I never thought that, oh shit, what if X person says this or Y person says this, or do I need to give this person more prominence or that person more prominence? I don't think I ever approached this film with any kind of negativity or insecurity of other people's versions in my head. So that never came to the table then. And therefore it was just more easier. And I think when they see that in you as actors, that you're not doing a preferential treatment to anyone, they automatically feel like they are trusted and like they can trust you when they're in good hands. So I think that worked out in my favor, that I'm...
But were you also worried that there will be comparison? Because again, Housefull is a...
Of course there's going to be comparison. Firstly, you're the first film to ever reach part 5, right? Of a franchise that is so loved. Of course there will be comparisons, so you can only work harder. And I don't think you can live your life based on those comparisons. You know it's going to happen. After that, you have to again set it aside and say, this is the film I am making. You have all the guides in the world standing there to tell you that Housefull, non-Housefull, go this, what about this, what about this? And then the decision is yours, as you're the director of the film. And you have to take on that onus and just go with it.
Again, comedy is a very notorious,
very.
Genre to direct.
Yes.
What have you learned while helming this project, especially with such a on a big scale, when you're directing on a big scale?
I think my first thought was, how well can I pull off slapstick, right? I always thought my humor was a little more dry. Then when I started working on this film, I realized that I'm a completely slapstick mad human being, and I love the slaps, the falls, the kicks, all of it, and I go ballistic on those things. I didn't realize that about myself in terms of my humor, and the more it happened in the film, the more I started enjoying it even more. And then came in my side of it to say, okay, now let's do this also and let's do that also. And at one point, there were times when actors said, enough. We are behaving like we are getting injured in this film 24 hours a day.
Did they?
Like every time it was like, we don't need to get slapped in every scene. So
okay. So you have learned that.
I've loved slapstick now.
But how do you think the comedy genre in general has changed over the years, or evolved over the years?
I don't think comedy genre has changed. I think humor is different for everyone. What is funny for you is not funny for me necessarily. And one thing that has happened, I feel, over a period of time is that we're all waiting to laugh. I think we're all waiting for that moment when we can go into a theatre as a community, sit down, just have a good time, have good popcorn and come out, without having to think too much, without having to have a message thrown at you, or have any of these, not be able to go with your family, not be able to go with particular friends and all of that. I think that is what has gone a little, disappeared a little from our environment and our world. And with this film, I'm hoping that you get that opportunity again. Comedy hasn't changed. Our need to laugh hasn't changed. Different humor for different people. Slapstick is a little more universal. It's a little more accepted worldwide in terms of mass number of people. So I'm hoping that more people laugh at this and we have a good time at the box office.
I don't know if you have read the comments, but I did manage to read a few of the comments, and they did mention this point where, like, it's been a long time that we have not gone and watched
a good fun
film. There's been action, there's been this, but they're happy that Housefull 5 is coming so that they can go with family, friends, kids.
Kids. Main thing.
What I feel is kids are the biggest Housefull
Absolutely,
fans.
absolutely. They are the biggest fan base
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
film.
Because my nephew and all, they all
And
are
when you
waiting
actually
for
think
it.
about it, is that 2010 was the first Housefull. We are now 15 years later. So the kids that watch that today, at that point in time must have been 7 to 10 years old, are 25 today. And I still meet kids who are right now at the age of 10 and come up to me and saying, oh, you're making Housefull, how, we want to see, is this one in it, is that one in it, is Akri Pasta there? And I'm going like, you're 10, you were not born. How do you know Housefull like that? So the fan base is just incredible and it's gone over generations. So waiting for them all to come back with their kids, experience that this was their childhood film franchise, and now they are getting to share it with their families.
Absolutely. But what I liked about the trailer, Tarun, I want to wait and watch the film, but what I liked is that you have kept some nuances of old films, all the franchise, like the monkey scene where he's been slapped and all. Again, that was observed by the audiences and they mentioned that in the comment. I want to understand, was this your idea completely or were...
I don't know. That's, I would say again, Sajid sir, he is the screenplay writer of the film. He knows this franchise on the back of his hand, right? I think in his sleep he writes scenes of Housefull. Whether we shoot it or not is alag, but for him scenes keep moving any which ways. Animals and Housefull is synonymous, right? So how could we not have a monkey scene or a parrot sequence and various kinds of sequences that we have in this film? That is just going to happen irrelevantly, like whether it is in the screenplay or not. I think as a separate scene, it would have been there if it hadn't been a part of screenplay. These are all Sajid sir's inputs. They are all from his screenplay. So kudos to him for making this franchise. It's how do you end up making the most successful comedy franchise in the country to part 5. In his head, I'm thinking he's started writing 6 and he's gone to 7 and all of that, but I don't want to get there right now. I want to get till 6th June. That's it.
But, you know, there's also this dialogue of Jackie, the famous dialogue of Tiger.
Yes.
Choti bachchi ho kya. Again, people have gone berserk with that entire scene. Again.
So that for me just happened on the spot. It wasn't a part of the script. And it just happened where we said, okay, this is what the action sequence is going to be like, and we started developing the action sequence. I was talking to my action directors from Thailand, and at one point we said, okay, the car nearly hits a baby in a pram, so you kind of get that excitement. And the moment I said baby in a pram, it just went like a light bulb in my head, and I was like, okay, I want a girl child in that thing. And then I want him to slowly lean out, look forward and say, choti bachchi hai kya? You had to have that line at that point.
That, I think that dialogue also has, you know, that really, line has.
And I think when we saw it only, we knew that we had that big punch dialogue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But did Tiger get back to you on this after he saw it? Anything?
No, I haven't been able to speak to anyone. I'm literally telling you, I get out. I literally just before this thing, we've just launched our new song, the teaser of our new song. Right now, I was literally on the balcony typing, and okay, yeah, it's out, and I have come back in here. I don't know what the hell is going on in the outside world.
But we would love to see his reaction.
I want to meet Tiger just to like look away and be like, you know, it really wasn't me, right? It was your dad. He did that. I'm just going to blame his dad for it.
And Jackie was all okay saying that dialogue. What was his reaction like?
He knows his son has created an iconic moment, right? And why won't you have fun with it? Because it's not like Tiger's going to feel bad about his iconic line. Imitation is the best form of flattery, right? So we just didn't think, again, we don't think about all these things.
Lovely. Like you said, it is that punch that you needed it and you got it.
Yeah.
But Tarun, what has been your most favorite comedy film, like all-time favorite comedy film?
There's a film that came out in 2008 called Dostana. Really nice film. Really, really
course.
very good, very funny.
Of course.
Loved that film. Comedy for me, I think Angur, definitely one of those that just lives on forever for me. There are, which are the others? There are a lot of these British sitcoms that I used to watch as a child. What is it called? Mind Your Language and those kind of ones, which I really enjoyed at that point in time. And after that, I kind of somewhere stopped watching any of them. So
what?
I don't know, I just got kind of caught up with work. Initially, when you're an assistant, you don't get time to do anything, you don't have a life and all of that. And post that, when I made my film 2008, by then I was switched off from all of it and I was all into Hindi movies. So,
nice. Since you spoke about Dostana, it's become a cultural phenomenon. How do you see the legacy of Dostana right now?
I honestly don't see the legacy. For me, the franchise, it was never thought of as a franchise film. It turned out into one. And that's one of the most best ways to go into a franchise, is because it just naturally became one.
Yeah.
Like Housefull. Housefull was never planned as a franchise. It was meant to be a singular film.
Right.
And then so much love comes to it. Everyone starts saying, we want more, we want more, we want more. And then you sit down and say, okay, do we have more? So it took them a little while to say, do we have more? 2010 was the first one, and then took them almost 3 years to make the next one, because they kept thinking, do we even have space for more? With Dostana as a franchise, I don't know where to take it forward.
You don't know where
I don't know where to take it forward.
Okay.
As a director, as a writer of that film, for me that was a singular story. I never looked at it as a franchise. The love that came for it suddenly made it into a franchise. And after that, it's not your baby anymore. It belongs to a producer. Happy birthday. Please make it, continue it, and do whatever you want. My brain is fried with that one.
But lot of Dostana fans wanted you at the helm of the
That's
film.
just part of the love that comes with the film.
But you still don't think that you will be the best one to take Dostana franchise?
Not at all,
forward?
because in that scenario, I wouldn't be doing Housefull 5. It's somebody else's franchise, right? I think every story, if you want to develop it further, you want to take it further, should have somebody new at the helm, should have a new mind that comes to it, and you keep the essence of it alive. You keep like Housefull. I can't turn around and make a film which is, for example, I can't make, for example, Kajal's film is coming, Ma. Right? And call it Housefull. It just doesn't work. So you have to keep the essence of the franchise alive for you to bring any new element to it. I think even if I bring 2% of a new element to 98% of Housefull, I've succeeded. If I bring 98% of new element and 2% of Housefull, I have failed. So for the next, even for Dostana, please, somebody else should take over, somebody else should make a great film out of it. It's built into a franchise. Have fun with it. Just keep Dostana alive.
But if Dostana was made in 2025, how would you make it?
I don't know. I'm telling you, I am so disconnected from that I wouldn't even think about it. I really wouldn't. I would leave it alone and be like, okay, my work on this franchise is done. It's not meant to be with me. I always believe that every film has a life of its own. And sometimes that film itself, when it's born and it starts to become something, it becomes this energy that just either attracts people or throws people away. It decides its own release date. It believes in its own destiny, where it's planning to take you. You are literally just making the film. You're doing nothing else. It has its own destiny, its own version, its own love, all of that out there. You look at Housefull 5 and you say, look at this star cast, they are going to take a year to make this film. We shot it in 4 months.
Exactly, that is why I was so surprised.
The film has its own thing where it just pulls in everyone that's going to believe in it. It'll get rid of people on its own that don't believe in it. It just happens, and I think over a period of time, when you make films, you start to realize that you're actually not doing much. You're just coming to set every day, building it piece by piece. But the film itself is always the one that is telling you what to do and what not to do. It's this energy force that just does it all, eventually.
You know, Priyanka also gave a big shout out to the film,
yes.
To Housefull 5. Abhishek also mentioned during the trailer launch that I don't know why Tarun took so many years to cast me again and we worked together. How has your relationship with Priyanka, Abhishek, John evolved and continued?
I've known Abhishek since I was 16. That is, I don't think that relationship evolves ever. We are still both 16 years old in our head. We still behave like morons when we are with each other, and we still sulk with each other. We will still be laughing with each other. We'll still be looking across the room with our eyes only and making bitchy comments towards each other. So that friendship has stayed exactly the same since we were 16. When it comes to Priyanka, I have a completely different relationship where we got to know each other only in Dostana. And that friendship developed from there. I think the bond that I share with her goes, for me, is very deep, and it goes beyond lives. I feel it's karmic. We're not on the phone every day. We talk very rarely. It's more of the chats or Instagram shares of things and all of that. But the connection I feel that we have is something that was meant to be again. I can call her up at any point in time and tell her my worst things, my best things, I don't feel judgment at all, and I know that it works the other way around. We've never had a friendship which is based about work, which is based on, oh, we need to be friends because then we can work together. Oh, she thinks I'm a good director, I think she's the most fabulous actress. I don't think it has ever even for an iota of a moment entered that friendship, which makes it so pure. And I love that relationship and friendship that I have with her.
It's Dostana which gave her the tag of Desi girl,
Right.
and now globally she's known as the Desi girl. How do you see her success? How do you see her from her journey from Dostana to now in LA that she is and she's working across?
Let me tell you a little bit of a story. When I was making Dostana, we were looking for a song, and eventually I got this song, Desi Girl. And I remember taking, that time it was on CDs, and we were shooting some other scene first. I had just gotten the song, and I told her to come into the car so that she could hear it on proper speakers. And I made her sit in the car. I put the CD on, and I think she'll be able to tell you as well, is before I played the song, I said, no matter how big you become, no matter where you go in life, they will always refer to you as this. And I played the song. And that I knew it from then that this girl is going to be beyond global, because I knew that tag. When I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this girl, it just is her. And post that, of course, we always imagine the best for our friends, right? We want them to be the richest people in the world, the happiest people in the world. She surpassed all of it. Beyond that, more than what you can imagine for her, she has achieved in her life. So I think I don't know what more to say about her, is that she's just Priyanka.
But it never happened that you came up with a script or you worked on a script that you could bring any of these people together for any, not Dostana, I'm just saying in general, if there was a slight chance of getting them together for a film. Because their chemistry was amazing in the film.
Again, I think it's the film that calls for it, right? Maybe someday a script will come up and it'll just again bring us back together. It'll be a reunion of sorts, or something or the other will happen. I don't know. But if I go trying to plan that and say, oh, this is what I should try to recreate, never gonna happen. You can't recreate that magic. It just happens. Either I'm saying literally I could walk out from here, somebody will say, hey, listen, I have a script. And you'll start to open the pages and those names will call out to you. And it'll just happen, or it just won't.
So you have never written a script keeping some actor in mind?
Not at all.
Oh,
not at all. Not at all. I don't think, again, I keep saying I don't think so much, so I don't write keeping an actor in mind that this is the person that needs to play it. Yes, you will have visuals of faces in your head just so that you can imagine the scene being taking place. But one scene is imagined with this actor, then suddenly you've written the third scene of the film, it's with somebody else in your head and all of that. Then you come down to casting the film and you'll think of who you want in the film. If the film wants that person, they will say yes. If the film doesn't want that person, money will be a problem, dates will be a problem, this will be a problem, that will be a problem. You will be heartbroken, all of that. But yet, if you just keep reminding yourself, the film is telling you what to do.
Tarun, are you proud of any scene from your film, secretly proud of any of your scenes that you think people have not admired or people have not loved?
Or not admired. In my vast repertoire of films that I have made, I don't think there was any such scene which I loved and they didn't. Of course, for me there was the scene when Priyanka Chopra and Kiran Kher are sitting in the bedroom and talking about, she says, I've lost my job, they've given it to someone else. And she says, just believe in God, He's got bigger things for you, better things for you. And He does everything for a reason. And she says, then what about Sam and Kunal? Wouldn't that be for a reason? I loved that sequence because it was two of them being so honest with each other and contradicting each other's opinions on life, but nobody was being harsh. Nobody was being offensive towards each other. There was literally a discussion about two things that were deeply offensive technically to both sides.
Right.
For me, that was a great scene. I don't know how much of appreciation it's received, but the fact that the film has received appreciation, the mother's character has been loved, I guess it did percolate somewhere. So
I think there's nothing that people have not liked about Dostana. That is for sure. I can show you that, and I'm sure you also know about it.
Well, now I've lived with it for 17 years, so yeah.
But I am sure that you will not take another 17 years to come out
No,
with
not
a
at all,
film.
not at all. I think now I'm surrounded by people who only want to work. Sajid sir is like one machine. Akshay is one machine. We all know about that.
Yeah.
So for him, his 4:30 a.m. calls,
I was coming
whether
to
you are
that,
working,
yeah.
not working, sleeping, anything doesn't matter. 4:30 in the morning, we are chatting.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm going to be up to something soon. We've already started things in the pipeline. I just don't want to announce anything at this point in time. Finish this film, take about a week off at least, just
And then
sleep, and then get back to it.
Right. But this is your first time with Akshay and
Yes,
most of the
it's my
cast,
fault.
right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a blast, but just some behind the scenes that you can share about Akshay, your experience with
I
him.
love how punctual he is, how energetic he is, how into the film he is. There's not a moment in which I feel like I'm dragging someone's feet through a film. He's always there running, so I'm running. It's great fun to have him on set. Even the others, like with Nana sir or anyone, everyone had told me Nana sir is very khadus and he can be very angry at times. I never got to see any of that. My first meeting with him finished and he got up and he stood and he said, "Love you, bacha," and gave me a hug. And then after that, every time we would see each other, "Nana sir, I love you," and beta, I love you, I love you, I love. I'm going like, this is not what they had told me. With Sanju Jackie, Sanju sir I've known of course for a bit because of various different reasons. Jackie sir I'd never worked with, but you see the both of them and now you realize why the aura, why the stardom. They are just incredible fun as people. And as much as we say about hey mera bacha, or we do baba, what are you doing baba, all of that, I can make fun of Sanju sir to his face, and he has this amazing sense of humor where he just laughs it off with you. He'll give you 2 comebacks after that, and it's just, you now realize why their aura is the way it is and why they've managed to even pan through so many decades of filmmaking.
But like you mentioned, Akshay is genuinely a person who comes on time. He prefers that 8-hour shift or whatever the shift that you have. But when an actress is asked such demands, like I need an 8-hour shift, especially new mothers, what is your take on that?
No problem. 8 hours, I'll need that many extra days, and then we'll go ahead. That's it. I just wish, all I'm saying is tell me in advance. You can't come to me at 11 a.m. and say, oh, I need to leave at 5. I have other combinations of actors, I have other things, I have a budget to look into, I have scenes to finish, a location that might not give me the location again. So it just shouldn't be ever a demand that comes to you last minute. Of course it happens, things will happen in your personal life, all of that. It'll happen in my personal life, and it happens randomly, no problem. We are all there to look after each other eventually.
Right.
But to base it on because somebody else is doing it is just...
No, these are especially for new mothers who who wants to spend time with.
I'm sure.
And
Who wouldn't want to? I want to spend time with my dog. I don't want to be on set. I want to go home and spend time with my dog. I don't care about children, but I care about dogs. Right. So yeah, I get that vibe and I get the feeling. But just put in your contract. That's it, and we're done. Right. Everyone's prepared for it.
Right. I want to understand also one more thing. Do you have a wish list of actors that you want to work with, or you wanted to work with in the past but never managed to do it? And what genre would that be?
Wish list, I think there's only one actor, and more than even work with that actor, I want to be, even if I get the opportunity, just be on set as the director of that moment and say action and cut is Mr. Bachchan. That's it. Just give me that much, and of course one has been on a set with him as an assistant, and one has gotten to say action during that point in time, and the director gets to say cut. I never liked that, but of course one has worked that way as with him. But I just want to be able to do that at least one shot with him, if not a whole movie. And I don't know what the genre is. I don't know what film it is. I just want to be able to say I directed Amitabh Bachchan. That's it.
And but you have worked as an assistant.
Yes, but you still get to say that I'm an assistant director on an Amitabh Bachchan film. I want to be able to say I'm the director of an Amitabh Bachchan film.
You were launched with Dharma. How has Dharma helped your journey? Has it helped?
Of course it has. I think I've learned a lot from Karan in terms of how to view a story and how to think of characters, how to dress them for sure, has come from there. So those kind of things definitely have come from there, and the rest of my life's experiences have taught me the rest. So how to handle people, just basic things of, I think the basic, one of the most basic things that he actually ended up teaching me was please and thank you, which was very surprising because it should have come from my family. But I had a tendency as a child to be a little arrogant about stupid things, which were not to my credit, of course. And he was the one who kind of humbled me down and say, just use these 3 words and everything will be fine in life.
Those are the magical
Please
words.
and thank you. Whether you mean it, you don't mean it, doesn't matter. You will say it at the start of your sentence, at the end of your sentence. And that really, really has helped me a lot in life.
Lovely. I have final 2 questions for you. One is, Bobby is started shooting in Kashmir. You have shot in beautiful location. Would you ever go to Kashmir and?
I would love to. I would go there on the drop of a hat. Whatever pointers aside, for whatever reasons of security and all of that, it's ours. It's home. I would love to go there.
It's a beautiful city.
I've unfortunately never been there, so I am wanting to and hoping after this film, when I get a break, I want to go. I really want to go. I want to travel for a while, just get to see my own country a lot more, and then.
Alright, but before that, please direct one more film and then you take a long holiday.
Damn it.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
I asked for 2-week break here, that also is too much.
But on a final note, what would you like to tell the audiences who are waiting to see Housefull 5? What can they expect from the film?
Hi, please expect a lot of Housefull. You'll really have a great time, and something new about it is that there are 2 climaxes. So I hope you get to watch both. You want to watch both. Just enjoy it. There are monkey slaps, parrot fights, beating of each other, running through a ship, a murder mystery going on at the same time. There's a lot for you to watch in this film, and great songs.
Well, on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you too.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.